Hello, cannedcream here, CC for short, and today I would like to talk to you about merchandising.
Neon Talking Super Street Bat Luge, activate.
Ready when you are, Cape Crusader. Get low and let's go.
Who doesn't love toy company meddling?
Or, to be exact, My Little Pony as a means for selling toys. The idea of using a cartoon as one big toy commercial isn't exactly a new one. It's a concept that's been around for as long as children's programming has. Whether or not a series becomes popular enough that it's profitable to start selling tie-in products, or is created as one big advertisement from the get-go, is almost irrelevant, as the very idea seems almost underhanded and sneaky, doesn't it? Almost like greedy companies are literally stealing candy from a baby. So the idea seems like one we should all immediately scoff at, and MLP should be no different, right? After all, the "buy our toys" joke is one I hear almost every time the show introduces a new element into the mix. But, honestly, can you really be surprised? And can you really blame them? The My Little Pony franchise itself is based off the 1981 My Pretty Pony toy line. The point of the show from the very beginning was to promote and move merchandise. So you make a colorful pastel cartoon show, have the ponies go on some safe, family-friendly adventures, and get legions of little girls to beg their parents to buy them merchandise. Then, when the novelty wears thin and sales go down, you put the show on the back burner, wait a few years, and revise it for a new generation and a new toy line. But don't think little girl cartoons are the only ones to pull this. Transformers, probably the most boy-centric thing in the history of mankind, began its life as figures from several different failing toy lines. They were renamed and rebranded, given a cartoon, and then pretty much became a license to print money. And I am not even kidding about that. Transformers is a franchise that started in 1984 and has run in some form or another to this day. So whether or not you read a comic, pop in one of the movies, or watch one of the many cartoon adaptations, you're watching something that was designed for the singular purpose of making you want to buy things. Transformers just had the happy accident of being entertaining as hell while they were doing it. And this, my friends, is what takes me back around to My Little Pony. Let's not kid ourselves. When Gen 4 Friendship is Magic was launched, its sole purpose was to sell cheap little plastic dolls to little girls. I would be surprised to hear there was any kind of fan clamoring for the show's return, especially after the almost insultingly bad G3 incarnation. But what could have been another recycled girls' cartoon was given into the hands of the very talented Lauren Faust, one of the creative driving minds behind Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends and the Powerpuff Girls, aka that cartoon about little girls that every little boy watched. Now, I'm about to say something that I'm positive that you already know and have already heard, but it deserves to be repeated. Lauren took a show that could have been another lazy, safe reincarnation to make a few bucks off of parents for a couple of years, and instead turned it into an honestly well thought out, intelligent, genuinely funny series. After all, there's a reason why you and I are here right now, and we both know it's not because we like shows for little girls, it's because we like well-written programs that the staff clearly cares for. But with that said, at its heart, it is still a medium to push merchandise. And at that's heart, it still comes off as something of a dirty trick. Yet, when you take these kinds of shows and put actual effort into them, when you make something worth watching, worth talking about, worth sharing, the outlook sort of changes. You're no longer tricking children into buying toys, you're encouraging fans to support the project. And I think that's an aspect those dealing the merchandise have caught on to. There's a ton of the usual stuff you would expect to see. Children's shirts, lunch boxes, backpacks, the aforementioned cheap little plastic toys that barely resemble the characters they're modeled after. But over the past few years, we've seen the addition of some high-quality models, clothing, and products clearly meant for viewers our age. This is the kind of stuff that never would have sold had the show itself not been built on such a strong base. The main thing to keep in mind is that the difference between a cartoon that tricks children into watching a 22-minute toy commercial as opposed to the one that makes fans want to support and show off their favorite program all comes down to the quality of its core. And for as long as MLP stays clever and entertaining, there is nothing wrong with paying to support the program and show off your passions. Thank you very much for watching. Post your own thoughts below, and as always, buy our toys!